What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on Rangers Central. And we talked about it a bit in the post game last night, but I did want to expand on it and talk about it more. My thoughts and everything on the Mika Zibanejad thing, because if you didn't see, before the game last night, there was an article that dropped from Larry Brooks that Mika Zibanejad is unhappy with his ice time, and that that got me feeling pretty pissed off. Before we jump into everything, though, please be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. I'm just beyond annoyed, to be honest with you right now. I'm just beyond annoyed that we're sitting here having this conversation, because this whole era, if you will, of Rangers hockey, despite the regular season records, which I'm sure that those comments are going to be coming in about the record this year, it's been the same garbage. I have to hear players whining and bitching all the time instead of there being accountability. We have to continue to hear the same lame excuses. We hear them say words all the time, and then they don't back up their words with their actions at all about, oh, you know, we will be better if they are taking accountability, which is rare to begin with. But if they do that, they don't back it up. Or in this case, where Mika Zibanejad's whining about his ice time. And what does he do the next game? Does a 20-minute cardio session, if he even got 20 minutes, whatever he got, it was a cardio session out there outside of one measly assist that he had on the Chris Kreider goal on the power play, which, not a surprise that it was a power play point. I get that the comments are going to come in. I know it. It's 10 games in. Shut your mouth. Stop it. We can't look at this through the lens of this is 10 games. Because this is a problem that continues to happen year in and year out. And at what point do we just say it's a pattern and not, well, just give him time? Because this continues to happen with him, and it's one of the big reasons this team has not held the Stanley Cup above their heads in forever. And with this team, with this group, with this core, it's one of the main reasons, because he's always second fiddle. And this is the thing that's really alarming. He's not even looking competitive out there against the Detroit Red Wings at times. He's not looking competitive out there against some of these bottom-feeding teams. And he wants to sit here and complain about his ice time. Interesting. In terms of the exact quote and everything, because I do want to read it from Larry Brooks' article, which I will link in the description if you guys want to read the full thing. But to read and summarize this a little bit, he said, you could feel it on the bench when he was saying at the morning skate in advance of Tuesday's game against the Capitals, I was averaging 20-plus minutes a few years ago, and I felt really good because that can find you a better rhythm. Missing those 2 or 3 extra minutes, whatever it might be, you can try and create and feel like it's going to come out, but it is what it is. And then Larry Brooks goes on to say Zibanejad's ice time has dropped from a career-high 21:38 in 2019-20 to 18:15 per following Saturday night's matchup against Anaheim, in which the center's 15:07 represented the 5th lowest he's had over the past 7 seasons. And he, to go on and with the rambling, he said, I don't think anyone wants to play less, honestly. If you're going to sit here and complain about your ice time, instead of saying, I need to be better, instead of saying that as a team, we got to be better, most importantly, because you should be putting the team ahead of you first and foremost over your damn ice time, if you're one of the leaders on this team nonetheless, then that just tells me everything I need to know about this group we have. And I really don't care how negative it sounds. I really don't care what people say at this point. I'm fed up with it. I truly am fed up with it. Because I'm tired. This bleeds through from top to bottom with the organization, and it's been going on for years. Because with the last coach, it was, oh, he's David Quinn 2.0. With this coach, it's, oh, he's Gerard Gallant 2.0. This is on the players right now. As much as I would love Laviolette to send a damn message and sit a guy like Mika more and sit guys like Keandre Miller more for their poor performances, the players have to execute. And you have your number one center, which is probably the most important thing you need to win a Stanley Cup, sitting here bitching to the media about his ice time instead of going out there and executing, instead of caring about the team more when he wears a letter and all this other stuff. I don't know what goes on in the locker room, obviously, but considering we hear similar quotes nonstop, it doesn't surprise me. And considering we hear all this drama, I mean, dating back to 2021 with the D'Angelo stuff, with Brendan Lemieux being an issue, and then Georgiev and D'Angelo fighting in the locker room and all this other stuff, it doesn't come to me as a surprise that this is the culture of this group. It really doesn't. But here we are yet again, sweeping things under the rug because it's a new year. Unless things drastically change with Mika Zibanejad, unless things drastically change with a lot of things with this team in general, then obviously I don't expect much, but to hear this was just really, really, really infuriating. And I get that people are going to say, well, you don't have to worry too much about the way he's playing because of the fact that Filipino's playing like a number one center. And that's true to an extent, but one, Mika's a net negative when he's out there. Two, Filipino, as great as he's performing right now, and I'm not taking anything away from what that line is doing because it is unbelievable what that line is doing, and they're doing what they're supposed to do by feasting on the lesser teams' players. Like, they are getting the lesser matchups compared to the Zibanejad line and the Panarin line and all the other lines on this team. They're getting the lesser matchups, but, and I don't want to take it away from them, but the point is here that you can't just rely on Filipino to be the end-all be-all here, because every time, because they're not getting the favorable matchups, the Mika line is, and every time the Mika line is out there, they are hemmed in the D zone, playing terrible, and it all stems, or I shouldn't say all of it, mostly stems from his poor play, whether it is coasting through the neutral zone, just gliding, making mistakes, getting beaten puck battles, getting beat off the puck, which is even more annoying because I don't know what happened to the guy that would drive from one end of the ice to the other, lower his shoulder, protecting the puck, driving to the net and ripping a backhander. I don't know what happened to that, Mika, but I'm at a point where I don't know if it's ever going to happen again, where they're going to get this play, like the play that they had at one point for Mika. In terms of what Laviolette said about it, because that's what, of course, really was interesting to me. I think this was Laviolette did say this. He said, Phil's line has been really good with regard to generating positive numbers, getting into the offensive zone, generating chances, but it's more trying to spread the bench out a little bit, said Laviolette. I think I said at the beginning of the year that my job was to find them more minutes, but the overall minutes don't all of a sudden change to keep everybody's minutes where they want. So some things have to come down. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Mika's on the power play, he's on the penalty kill, he's on 5-on-5, depending on how much less that could work against you. But getting minutes throughout your bench, which is what we're trying to do right now, I think is important to find a positive impact from each line. Pretty much what I'm saying right now, that with the way that line is playing, the Filipino line, with the way the Panarin line's playing, even the fourth line right now, and the results are there. As much as I am down on this team, and as much as I have a lot of concerns with this team, because this team just has a knack for not playing good in their own end. So as much as I'm worried about all that, The results are there that they're winning games. And here you have a guy that wears a letter on his jersey sitting and complaining to the media right now about his ice time, sitting and complaining about how he can't get in the rhythm because he's getting 2 or 3 less minutes, instead of being accountable for his poor play and saying, as good as the result is right now, and I'm happy that the team is getting the wins right now, but I need to be better. Instead of saying that, it's this from him. Sorry, it's inexcusable. You could be the biggest Mika Zibanejad fan in the world, and this does not mean I hate the guy, but I absolutely hate hearing this from him, and I absolutely despise this quote and despise him going to the media and complaining about his ice time, because that is complete and utter garbage in my opinion. But who knows what's going to happen going forward, because it's just really infuriating how we're even here, because it's just drama year in and year out with this group of players. And I'm at a point where I'm just beyond annoyed with it. Like, you have a guy that is here for the next 7 years or whatever it is in Mika Zibanejad, $8.5 million on a no move clause. If you're not happy, then waive it. I don't know what to tell you. If you're not happy with your ice time, then waive it, and the Rangers will do their business to find guys that will be willing to do whatever it takes to help the team win versus caring more about their ice time. Don't care how much of an overreaction people say that is. I do not care. This pissed me off. So, I mean, it's one of two options. It's that, or just simply play better and be accountable. And I'd prefer the latter option, because I'd prefer for the guys that do wear the blue and red, that I do watch every single night, that I do care about. I would rather them go out there and execute and go out there and thrive. But this is unfortunately where we are. And it's just annoying. Trying to see if I'm missing anything else in terms of the whole thing with Mika right now, but this is just, it's just infuriating. It's just disappointing to hear from a guy that's a fan favorite, from a guy that wears a letter. I don't know. I just don't like it. But yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to, but that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.